4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, welcome to a very special show tonight of Beyond the Whistle, the Drew Falletta Show. Like I said, tonight is a very special show with a very special guest. First, for my sponsors. Do you want the best maintenance in town? Best prices on oil change, maintenance, and other things for your vehicle? Go to Alcoa Wholesale Tire. With owner Brian Rom, you are not a customer, you are family. As well, if you want to go up the road, Shulgan's Bar and Grill. Tonight, 10 wings, $5.50. The best you'll get in town, can't beat it. $1.50 Coors Lights. That's Shulgan's Bar and Grill, Broadhead Road. All right, guys, so my next guest here, I'm going to give some accolades, and then I'll introduce. My next guest went to high school at the Matha Catholic High School in Hyattsville, Maryland. He was an All-American under Morgan Wooten. His junior year at North Carolina State, he averaged 13.4 points per game. His senior year, he averaged 17.5 points per game. He played in 109 career games at NC State. He shot 49% from the field throughout his career at North Carolina State. He was the 51st overall pick in the 1983 NBA draft from the Phoenix Suns. He was an assistant under Jim Valvano in 1985 at North Carolina State. In 1999, he was named the head coach at Wagner. In 2002, went to the NIT. 2003, NCAA tournament appearance. He was 67-50 at Wagner. And later, he got the head coaching job at Fordham between 2003 and 2009. He is an executive producer of the ESPN 30 for 30 Survive and Advance. And he is now currently the associate AD at North Carolina State University. Guys, I'm very honored for my next guest, the one and only Dereck Whittenburg. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing terrific. It's March Madness time. It's time for everybody to get excited to get into college basketball.
You ain't lying, Coach. Before we get started on college basketball, what were your thoughts on that crazy offensive game last night between the Eagles and the Patriots?
Wow. You know, we should have had a Pennsylvania final, really. The Steelers should have been there. You know, the Steelers is my team. You know, Bill Cowher, I went to school with Bill Cowher, so I was dreaming that the Steelers would be there. But that game last night was probably, I would think, one of the best Super Bowls we've seen. You know, back and forth, neither team could stop each other. And I tell you, the quarterback Bowles kind of went toe for toe right there with Brady a little bit, which was, I was kind of surprised. I mean, the kid really played well, backup quarterback, and to beat Tom Brady in a shootout, I think that's quite a feat. Hats off to Philadelphia. What a great year they've had.
And Coach, here's the thing: Big Ben, knowing you're a Steelers fan, he might only have a few years left. If I'm the Steelers, I might have to give Nick Foles a call and see if he could possibly be a Steeler. He looked pretty good last night.
He looked great, and this goes to prove that you're going to need at least two good quarterbacks in the NFL, because you never know what's going to happen. You've been very fortunate with like Tom Brady, and you know, Big Ben has not been hurt a whole lot. Just probably had some injuries of late. You know, all your great quarterbacks, you know, that knock on wood, can stay healthy, but it's not likely. You better have a good backup quarterback, and Bowles is really, I mean, he's really become a valuable commodity out there. And I don't know if Philly, I mean, a lot of teams would like to have him as a starting quarterback right now for what he's done last night in that Super Bowl. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the future of Philadelphia is, because what happens on this championship team, that a lot of guys, you know, they're going to be sought after, and maybe jumping down the teams. Absolutely,
Coach. I definitely agree. But turning the page here, get towards your career. For a lot of young guys like me who are 27 and weren't around yet, obviously I watched your film, done some research on you. Can you explain to people how great it was in high school playing for Morgan Wooten, a legend?
You know, we played for a coach. Now, obviously, his accolades speak for themselves. 87% of his games. He won 1,274 games in his career, the first high school coach in the Hall of Fame. But more importantly, he taught us what it was to be a part of a team, to have character, to be a good student, to be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that he taught us about being a better person and a better human was far more valuable than just winning basketball games. And that's what makes Morgan special. And you can see in 42 straight years, we've had everybody get a Division I scholarship,
Yep.
Which has been incredible. But the way we feel about the man and what he's done for us has just been incredible. And I can't thank my parents enough and the good Lord for blessing me for having an opportunity to play for Morgan Wooten.
That's awesome, Coach. And when you decided to go to North Carolina State University and take your talents there, was it more the smooth transition for you due to the fact that Sidney Lowe was coming with you? And for a lot of people I'm sure don't know, Sidney Lowe played with you in high school. You guys really, really played well together. You both thrived off each other's games. You knew each other's games. You read each other well. Was it a smoother transition as an 18-year-old young man going down to North Carolina State, having Sidney there with you?
Absolutely. We were well prepared in a lot of respects. And we've been taught well, obviously, on the court and off the court situations and knowing how to make decisions. It's always nice to go with a teammate that you played with. Now, Sidney and I only lost 7 games in high school.
Wow.
So we didn't know anything about that. We won the first national championship for Morgan in 1978. We won 28-0.
Mm-hmm.
We're part of one of the number one basketball high school classes in the country, the class of 79. We got 6 guys that's in the top 50 all time in the history of the game. So we've been around a lot of great basketball in high school. So to transition that and to go into college with one of your best friends and your teammate that you've had success with was a lot easier transition than normal because you go with somebody you're familiar with, somebody that you're close with. And we both played comparable positions. Him being the point guard and being the 2 guard, we knew each other very well.
Right, Coach. And then obviously you go down to North Carolina State to go play for Norm Sloan, who won the 74 championship at NC State. He decides to leave and go to Florida. So what was the day like for you, March 27th, 1980, when this Italian head coach named Jim Valvano comes to a press conference, makes a few jokes, had all this charisma? Did you look at him like, you know what, this could be pretty cool playing for this guy, or we're not sure about this guy from New York?
Well, yeah, it was going to be very interesting. He was different. He was just different, but, he kind of gave us he had a lot of flair, a lot of personality. He's a player's coach, and, he gave us ownership in the team. He was like, Morgan was the traditional coach.
Mm-hmm.
Norm Sloan was the traditional coach, but Jim was just his own different personality. He wanted to have fun, and, he wanted us to play free, and, it really was a unique style. But we took to him right away, just because, he had that ability to make you believe in yourself and play for him and play for college. So Jimmy was, I can tell you, he was although we missed Norm Sloan, because Norm Sloan was great, but he was different, but we felt very comfortable going forward with Coach Valvano. That's
awesome, Coach. And I have a 2-part question for you here. So what was Coach V's practices really like? We hear about the man, the charisma, but I like a little in-depth about how his practices really were for you guys. And also, he talks about his dream. He talks about his dream of winning a championship. He tells you guys this, that I know I'm going to win a championship. You guys before practice would cut down the net and practice winning the national championship. What emotionally was that like for you and your teammates?
Well, he was a visionary, and he came in with the mindset. He knew what he wanted to do from day one. And a lot of times, a lot of coaches don't come to a program like that. When I went to Wagner College, I said, I want to take this school to that first NCAA tournament. We're going to do it. And you, as the leader, you have to set the tone and set the vision. And that's what he did. So his whole personality playing as a unit and practicing 5-on-5. They're doing a bunch of drills.
Right.
Not that we didn't do fundamental stuff, but he just believed by playing 5-on-5. So, practice becomes fun. The kids today, kids don't want to be running a bunch of drills. They want to play.
Exactly.
And so if he coached today, I think the kids will love him because you'll be going up and down and he made practice fun. Like a lot of times kids think that practice is like, oh man, like Allen Iverson. Practice, man. Why I got practice, Practice, if you love the game, if you want to compete, you should love to practice. And he made it fun for us for practice.
Hey, Coach, please correct me if I'm wrong, but just watching some film of you and your game, you were really great coming up, handle the ball, isolate, pull up, 15, 20-foot jumper. You really did an excellent job of that. That type of 5-on-5 practice of you being able to do that, and then whenever you come to the game and say, you know what, okay, this is what I practice. We run up and down the court. We play pickup per se, maybe in a slighter term, but this is comfortable for me. Come to a game, I got Michael Jordan guarding me or James Worthy. Okay, I'm going to pull up, do what I do in practice, hit my 15, 20-foot jumper. Is that a credit to Coach V?
Well, let me correct you. I didn't shoot a lot of 15-footers. They were like 20 and 22 and 25. I shot a lot of deep shots.
You did. Hey,
so, I don't know, but I wasn't inside the arc a whole lot.
You love that 83 3-point line.
Yeah, I was shooting 3-pointers before they even give you a 3-point.
I saw you shoot one from 35 and nothing but net, and I think you stared down the whole Virginia bench.
Yeah. Well, I just, we practice transition, and what a lot of shooters don't want, you don't realize, especially if you have a really good point guard, if you rebound and run the floor, the best shot you can take is in transition, because a lot of times it's wide open shot. Nobody guards you in transition.
Right.
They kind of get back, but they don't guard the three-point line. It kills me today that the game is all predicated on this. If you look at the stats, it's going to be who makes the most three-point shots and who has the most free throws. That's usually who ends up winning the game. And people don't defend the three-point shot. So the best way to get the three-point shot is in transition. And that's what we practice, and that's the shots I took advantage of.
Absolutely. And that secondary break is so key, especially if teams aren't guarding that line. Your secondary break, if you have a power forward that you can even shoot to three a little bit, that's huge for your team, I feel.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach.
It doesn't have to be a secondary break.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a secondary break. It could just be a normal, get the rebound, pitch it out to the guard. The two guard runs the right lane. The other guy runs the left lane. You got the big guy running down the center. Just traditional right, and just read it. And while guys are trying to get back, they usually doesn't locate their man.
Right.
Especially a shooter is out there about 20-some feet. And lo and behold, you end up getting a wide open three-point shot.
Absolutely.
Just because just running the floor.
Yeah, and Thurl Bailey did an excellent job of catching that ball, throwing it, bang, to either you or Sydney, set up for a jumper, whether it was Terry Gannon shooting it, you, Sydney. I thought Thurl did an excellent job of that in his career.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach, so for a lot of these young guys out here, obviously I'm a young guy, I'm only 27, but can you explain to these young kids today, I call our era the one-and-done era, how special college basketball was whenever you played, and it really offends me that nobody talks about, to quote you, the monster. Can you tell people how great college basketball was and how great Ralph Sampson was, how dominant he was?
Well, Ralph could have went, he could have went out, he could have been a one-and-done. James Worthy could have been a one-and-done. Michael Jordan, Dominic Wilkins, all these, Isaiah Thomas could have went out as these are all the guys in our class. But they enjoyed college and they stayed in college. And, the business is different now. Kids want to go to the NBA and you can't fault them. But we're not talking about a whole lot of kids. See, everybody gets a misnomer about the one and done. We're only talking about, 6, 7, maybe 8 kids a year that's one and done. Is everybody else want to be a one and done, but they're not. Right. College basketball is still in a good way, but you got to understand
I mean, I agree.
So if he leaves next year, Oklahoma becomes a regular team. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree with you.
2 or 3 years, they become relevant.
And I have another question.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Let me explain this. Get this point. So what is happening now is that the teams like Villanova and Carolina, who has 4 and 5 year guys, those are guys that got more chance of winning because they got experience.
Absolutely.
They got an experienced team. They don't have a bunch of one and done, and they got some continuity about their team. And those are the teams that are going to be tough to beat the tournament.
Hey, Coach, do you think, not even from the one and done side, I have a theory, and you might think I'm completely foolish for this, that in 5 to 7 years, college basketball is going to be even more down, not because the one and done. You have these teams overseas now contacting these kids from high school with these deals and all this money. Do you think the overseas teams are going to affect the college basketball game too by getting these kids and showing them, hey, I'll give you $1 to $3 million. Come play for me for 5 years, $3 million. I'm just throwing a number out there, but do you think that's going to hurt the college game as well?
No, what I fear is that there may be a new rule coming that kids are going to be allowed to transfer without sitting out. Now, if that rule is in place, and I think it's what I hear through the grapevine, they may be on a board. That means that kids could just transfer. Because if you're a normal student, okay, if you transfer, you don't have to sit out. You don't have to. You just transfer to another school, right?
I mean, yeah.
Well, now you have to sit. You have to sit out 1 year. What is being proposed is that these kids may get a break from that. Could you imagine? Right now, there's been an average for the last 4 years over 800 transfers in Division I.
Wow.
800 kids transfer every year.
That's outrageous.
Now, if you opened it up so you don't have to get penalized, kids going to start doing like they do in high school, going to two and three different high schools. It's a whole culture of that right now. And luckily, it hasn't affected the game because we got a great game, and high school's doing well. There's loads of talent out there.
Right.
But now kids will have the ability, if they transfer, they can transfer anytime they want without a penalty. Man, kids are going to be, as soon as they're not happy, they're going to be transferred.
I agree with you 100%, and that's great stuff, Coach. Get back to your career here. How hard was the night of January 12th, 1983? You're playing Virginia. You have 27 in the first half. You're hitting threes. You're unconscious. Everything you shoot 25, 30 feet, bang, nothing but net. Not even hitting the rim. And then you get hurt. You think it's a sprain. You end up with a diagnosis of a broken foot. How personally and emotionally, how hard was that night for you?
Well, what people didn't know is that I had the same injury in high school and missed almost the same amount of games in high school on my other foot. I broke the fifth metatarsal bone. And then the Redskin doctor, Stan Levine, who was my doctor at the time, really explained I had this little pad that he put on my foot, and I came back and played to finish the rest of the season. But I had the same injury before, and I knew what I had to go through. And quite frankly, it's a 4 to 8 week recovery. And I came back earlier I came back within 4 weeks because, you know what, I just tolerated a little pain and I wanted to play, and I just came back a little earlier than I was supposed to.
And I remember you saying on the 30 for 30, you were 75%, and the doctor said, hey, it's on you, and there was no hesitation on your part, because from watching you play, I knew how tough you were, and even at 60%, Dereck Whittenburg was playing. No matter what, senior year, he's playing.
Well, I didn't want it. It's my last year. We started off having a great year. I didn't want to let my teammates down, and I thought it was important that I would have to get back. Although my team made a nice adjustment, we lost 6, and then we won 6 in a row. And then I had to implement myself back into the lineup. And Ernie Myers had been playing great.
Yeah.
And he was a freshman. And Jimmy made the decision that he brought me right back in got me back into the game and started me, and the rest is history. And today, if you did that, you got to give Ernie Myers a lot of credit that he really was the show signs of a great teammate, because he could have left school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he could have transferred and said, you know what, I deserve to start, but he knew I was leaving the next year. But you got to give Ernie Myers a lot of credit for, what the sacrifice he made as well.
Absolutely. I agree with you 110%, Coach. And eventually you come back, you play against Maryland, you guys lose again. You kick Coach V out, you're heated, you're pissed. You just lose another game, you are pissed, okay? And you challenge your teammates, you look at each every one of them, you say, hey, if you ain't going to play hard, put your dukes up, let's go. How, just you coming back and only being 75% healthy, did that just anger you even more, just losing another game and seeing the season potentially going downhill?
It's just passion. It's determination. It's the will to win. It's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's leadership one-on-one. When you can read all the books you want about leadership, but even sometimes I really believe some people are just born with that knack to lead people and to inspire people. And I think that was part of my gift. And I just went in there. Nobody told me to do it. I just thought it needed to be done. And my teammates, I respected them. And it wasn't personal, okay? Mm-hmm. When I said put my dukes up, is that what I was showing them that how bad I wanted to win.
Yep.
My will to win and my determination. And then it became contagious. So people don't know how to take sometimes when somebody, a leader, is really trying to fire everybody up. But my team did. And nobody took it personal. We didn't carry any grudges. Mm-hmm. We just followed our leader. We played hard, and we refused to lose.
Absolutely. And I remember Terry Gannon saying, "You're the most intimidating 6-foot guy, 6-foot player he's ever been around. You're the emotional leader of the team. Obviously, your stats don't lie. You're the best player on the team. Those guys respect you no matter what." So doing that, they said, "Oh, okay, we got it. If Whit comes back and he's hurting and he's playing 110%." And he's playing his ass off, then all right, then it's time for us, obviously, to step our game up. But how special was it playing for V? And how special was it that, your leadership style and just being the leader of the team, do you think Coach V found more of a liking and more of a bondness to you just because of that reason?
Let me tell you what happened to Coach V. Coach V got, and I'm going to sound a little selfish about this, and I've never said this before, ever in an interview. V was blessed with not just great chemistry, but two guys like Sidney and myself, mm-hmm. that we had already done it. You understand, we only lost, and nobody on our team, we had lost 7 games in high school, coached by one of the greatest coaches in high school. And he inherited 2 guys that was automatically leaders. And the difference between our team, if you watch the videos, we expected to win. We were happy that we won, but we knew that we were there. We knew we should have been there. If you look at our teammates, they were happy, but they were more surprised. But we expected to win. We used to see every game that we won, we didn't celebrate like it was the last game. Mm-hmm. We congratulated ourselves, we celebrated a little bit, and we were focused on the next game.
Yeah.
But if you watched our body language, we expected to be there. We expected to win. And that is the difference between being a winner and being a champion.
Absolutely. And Thurl Bailey will probably never admit this, and I don't know Thurl. Obviously, you were very close with Thurl. He's a teammate of yours. When you played UNLV in the second round of '83, he expected, and I could see it in his eyes and just during the game, he expected to kick Sidney Green's ass. He was very quiet, very humble, But Thurl knew how good he was. I get kind of offended when people are like, oh, the Cinderella team. You guys had 3 guys drafted from the 83 team. You guys were pretty good. And that offended me, and I wasn't even on your team. Did that kind of irk you guys a little bit that you were called, the Cinderella team? Because you guys knew how good you were.
Well, you got to understand, we played against the number 1 team about 6 times in the country last year because the ACC was the number 1 conference in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the late, great Lenny Bias at Maryland and Adrian Branch on the same team. You had Michael Jordan and James Worthy and Perkins on one team. You had Ralph Sampson, in Virginia. I mean, everybody had good teams.
Yeah.
Everybody had veteran players. So the ACC was very, very good. So we didn't look at. Matter of fact, we embraced the underdog role because it fit us very well because we didn't care about being no underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
We had something to prove. And so because they said that, that's a lack of knowledge by most of the so-called basketball people, experts out there. They didn't know what they're talking about because we were very well prepared. We weren't intimidated by any team outside the ACC because we've already played against the best.
Yeah, and you play against Jordan Worthy. I mean, you play against these guys, Ralph Sampson 6-8 times. So you guys were prepared for those moments, and there obviously was no intimidation at all. But getting back here, you had to win every single game in the ACC tournament to get in to the NCAA tournament at the time, and you did. And a lot of people don't realize this. There was only 52 teams at the time that can get in. So how good when you eventually got to the tournament, especially against Pepperdine in the first round when you were down, UNLV, you took care of Utah, but against Virginia, how great was Coach V with adjustments?
Maybe one of the best game coaches out there because he had such a feel for the game and making that adjustment. What do we need to do to win the game? And it might scrap. You may have a game plan, but you may have a feel to do something that you totally didn't even thought about doing in the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of his philosophies that he wasn't never going to let the best player beat you. That was one of his philosophies. The other of his philosophy was put me in position. I'll put you in a position in the game, and the players got to win the game.
Absolutely.
So if we got the game within 5 points, he felt that it was up there as a player's responsibility to finish the game.
Absolutely.
And that's why I watch the game a little differently today. You'll find out who the good coaches are with 5 minutes to go with the game in the balance, and you'll find out who can make adjustments and who's going to be a good coach.
I agree with you once again 110% on that. That is absolutely the truth. In April 3rd, 1983, what's going through a young Dereck Whittenburg's mind the day before the national championship?
Well, it's we're there, and us being there, you're really numb. You're in this state of we there. This is possible. Now we got to finish it. So, I mean, we're excited. This is what we talked about, and I just want to finish it all. So we were pumped up and thrilled, but focused at the same time. Mm-hmm. The eyes is on the prize.
Absolutely. And Coach, I just want to come out and tell you here, I thought, obviously, when the shot went up, some people call it a shot. I think it's one of the greatest passes in the history of college basketball. So I'll say, when you threw that pass to Lorenzo Charles and he made that dunk, how special was that to give that assist to Lorenzo?
Man, I tell you, every day of my life, for 35 years straight since that's happened, it's the 35th anniversary of our championship team. We're being inducted to the NC State Hall of Fame September 14th of this year. And every day of my life, I've talked to somebody that's brought up the national championship game. So what I equate that to, I'm humbled and honored to be a part of something that was bigger than myself, and what we've had the opportunity from that time on to use the championship to help other people, to empower people and
Hey, Coach, how special – I'm going to ask you a question here. Obviously, it was very special winning the national championship your senior year. But how even more special for you as Dereck Whittenburg, the person, is giving other people hope? And I'll come out and say it. I had this podcast here. It's newer, but one of the inspirations to myself doing this was Coach V, your national championship team. It gave me hope in that, you know what? It's not just, Coach V wasn't talking about basketball. You guys weren't talking about basketball. You're talking about life. When you said ordinary people do extraordinary things, it wasn't just college basketball. It was life. So how special it is for you and your teammates to just help other people by winning the national championship?
Well, I'm going to give you one huge example. You know, I've been on the board of the Jimmy D Foundation for the past 25 years. And although we won the championship, Jim Valvano's legacy may be his impact because he passed away with cancer.
Right.
His greatest and his legacy may be the work we've done with the V Foundation to raise over $200 million in 25 years, to give out over 600 grants across the country to different doctors and hospitals, to raise the awareness of raising money for cancer, this dread disease. Because we were a part of that, we've been able to impact people in the lives of cancer. Mm-hmm. So that's just one example of what winning and what a team can do that can help so many other people.
And Coach, I know you're very busy, so I have about 2-3 more questions here, and I'll let you go. I greatly appreciate it. If for people who are just tuning in, I am with Dereck Whittenburg, North Carolina State legend. So, Coach, how difficult for you was April 28th, 1993, when Coach V passed away?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I was very, very close to Coach V. I felt like I was a son he didn't have. We spent a lot of quality time together. And part of me was sad because his physical being was not there. Yeah. But one thing I can rest assured, you know, I had to trust God that he was doing the right thing for Jimmy.
Right.
And that he would take him out of his pain. And it was time for him to go with him. But at the same time, I knew this man lived his life and wanted to live his life to help others. Absolutely. And so part of me said, although I was sad, but I didn't want to see him suffer like that. But part of me said he lived life to the fullest. He enjoyed his life. He enjoyed people. He made an impact, and he's left a lasting legacy forever with all the work he's done with the V Foundation.
I absolutely agree, Coach. Thank you. That's great stuff. And 2 more questions for you, Coach, here. I'll let you go. So, your first head coaching job at Wagner, you went to the NCAA tournament. How special was it for you to finally be a head coach? Very successful job at Wagner. And any of Coach V's philosophies or styles that you took with you as a head coach?
Well, I was very fortunate because I worked with several really, really good coaches. Obviously, my tutelage under Morgan was I tell you, was invaluable. You know, playing for Jimmy and working with Jimmy as assistant coach. I also coached under Gail Catlin, Hall of Famer from West Virginia. I worked under Bobby Crimmins. Bobby Crimmins from New York, great legacy of Georgia Tech. And Joe Harrington from Maine and went to Maryland and worked under the great Lefty Driesell. So I've had a lot of great mentors along the way that I've taken a little bit from them and added to my personality. Like I tell people, I think sometimes 83 really overshadows my pedigree. I've been under a lot of successful men that taught me a lot of great things. And what I enjoyed most about being a head coach for the first time, it's the first time that I got an opportunity to put a team together, right, a group of young men that achieved something that's very extraordinary. And it's very hard in this in
Right.
It's not that easy. It's hard to get in the tournament. So I was prepared by all my mentors. I had a lot of confidence. I understood but surrounding yourself with good people, good staff, and good kids. And you got to have a strong administration that believes in it. Mm-hmm. And we just had an outstanding run. Now, mind you, at Fordham, we still have the best record they ever had since they've been in Atlantic 10. In 2005, we won 18 games, and we were fourth in the league in Fordham. In Atlantic 10, when the Atlantic 10 was really, really good.
Exactly.
When GW was in the top 10, St. Joe's had a great team, UMass, Temple with John Chaney, the league was great then. And we came in fourth place at Fordham University, and that record still stands today. And this is the other thing that they don't talk about. What I've achieved more than most coaches have is that none of my kids got in trouble. Mm-hmm. We've had over a 90% graduation rate. At Wagner, I had 6 guys on a diesel list and 3.0 GPA. At Fordham, my kids graduated at a higher rate than any other program, and my kids didn't get in trouble. We have devalued that point of college basketball, and we only concern most of the time about winning only, but we don't talk about how a person runs a class program. Winning, having good students that graduate, and having good character kids, that's what the total program should be about in college basketball.
I absolutely agree with you. And let me ask you this question, and I'm sure we all know the answer. What's more important, winning a national championship if you could have at Wagner, or graduating all your players?
Wow. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how special graduation. So, my wife and I, we don't have kids. So I've been in college athletics for 32 years. Mm-hmm. When my birthday or Christmas comes up, I got hundreds of kids that I was assistant coach, head coach, in some capacity, that call me every day, on special occasions, send me emails, send me Facebooks, cards, and everything to make me realize that what kind of effect I had on them. Not just the fact that we won games, but the fact that I was teaching them about life, teaching them how to be good people, how to do things with integrity and character, and that's what they remember the most.
And that's one thing, if I could support you here, and this is just coming from me, one thing that really bothers me with your career as a player and coach is obviously everybody shadows 83, Coach Valvano, but you were a pretty good coach yourself, and I wish more people recognize Dereck Whittenburg as the coach, that he won some games and he coached himself. That's just one thing that's always bothered me.
Well, listen, I had two of the toughest jobs in Division I. Wagner, a job in 80 years that never went to the NCAA tournament. I took it to a tournament. And Fordham, a program that's never had a winning season in Atlantic 10, has probably got the oldest gym, the great academics, great city, but the oldest gym in Division I basketball. And we had two outstanding seasons at Fordham, and people just don't recognize people's body of work. But let me tell you something. I challenge anybody, any Hall of Famer, you take those two jobs, take Fordham and take Wagner, and roll your sleeves up and see if you can have the same kind of success. Because those jobs every Division I job, those jobs are not easy.
No.
See, there's some programs that are made for success, and there's programs that you have to build success. You don't have the infrastructure, you don't have the backing, and those a lot harder. Not you can't be successful, but sometimes you're not in position right away to be successful because of lack of resources.
I absolutely agree with you. And last question, Coach, I'll let you go. What are you up to these days? And if there's anything you'd like to say to your fans who want to see you in coaching again, or just for the 83 team. Is there anything you'd like to say to those individuals?
Yeah, for all my Wolfpack Nation and all the fans of Follow 30 for 30 and ESPN and the V Foundation, I'm in a great way right now. I'm back at my alma mater, where I'm one of the first athletes, and a few of us, that's had an opportunity to win a national championship, to get a degree, to be an assistant coach, to come back as an administrator. It's a wonderful thing. I have a role that I have an opportunity to inspire all of my athletes, get our athletes back to finish their degrees, to help us recruit, to mentor our athletes. To come back to your alma mater is just a dream come true. You have the opportunity. And I can't tell you enough that we're so excited. My wife and I come back to North Carolina and be a part of that, be a part of North Carolina, the Raleigh community. We're doing a lot of community work with the Dereck Whittenburg Foundation, which we raise money for juniors and seniors that have hardships in college. All the work we do with the Jimmy V Foundation. Over 167 events I attended last year. I just love the opportunity to come out and share my story so we can help others, whether it's in Wolfpack Nation, whether it's in the Raleigh area, whether it's in the state of North Carolina. I'm just happy to be a part of the whole North Carolina experience.
And Coach, great stuff. And real quick before I let you go, for the viewers out there listening right now, just to show how great of a human being Coach Whittenburg is, I reached out to him about 3 weeks ago, emailed him, and said, hey, I'm so-and-so, done research on you, watched shows on you, know your career, followed it. Is there any way you do my show? And the type of person he is, didn't know me from a can of paint, said absolutely, let me know, gave me his number. So, Coach, I just want to tell you before you go how grateful I am as a human being. And I could tell my kids one day that I spoke one of the greatest players and coaches of all time, and I could die a happy man. So, Coach, I just want to thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And once again, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now it's next. We want the Steelers to get back there next year and win our 6th championship. And hello to all you out there. Let's watch March Madness. And Coach Keats is doing an outstanding job with our team. And we hope they continue to win.
I see a Final Four potential team.
I hope so. Hope to see you soon. Take care, and I'll be happy to be back on your show anytime.
Hey, Coach, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and God bless, all right?
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. Wow, I'm mind blown. I can't believe I spoke with the great Dereck Whittenburg. What an honor. I hope anybody who listened or didn't listen, whoever listened, just tell everybody about this segment. Ran about 50 minutes, I think. Just so much insight, knowledge. Coach is just a wonderful human being, and he obviously has, we all have egos and pride, but Coach wants to be known as the man, the human being, Dereck Whittenburg, not the player. And that's just a test to him. I'm definitely going to have Coach on again. That was great stuff. And I'm just very thankful for that. So thank you for everybody who listened to that segment. I'm on again Thursday with the head football coach at Pine Richland, Eric Kasperwitz. Very excited to have Coach on. Going to ask him a lot of questions. Some difficult ones maybe, we'll see. So Coach, hope you're ready for listening. So Thursday, guys, I'm on Thursday again with the head coach Pine Richland, Eric Kasperwitz. Take a listen. Thank you for everybody who listened tonight. Greatly appreciate it. God bless. Have a great night, everybody.